Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. Welcome to Infinite E, where the entertainment is limitless. I'm your host Harsh, and this is episode 2, where we will be talking about TV shows that you guys should be watching. So let's begin. So, the first show that everyone should be watching is WandaVision. Why? Well, Marvel was missing in our lives last year, and this year Marvel has come up with such a great lineup, starting with WandaVision. And so I think it's a perfect way to start the year with WandaVision. As we know, and as they have confirmed, they as in he as in Kevin Feige, confirmed that the TV shows that are coming on Disney Plus, the Marvel TV shows, are connected in the MCU. And so who wouldn't want to watch WandaVision? Because since if they are connected to the MCU, we get to see what happens after Endgame to Wanda, and we also get to see in one of the episodes in WandaVision of how everyone gets blipped back on Earth. Also, the other thing is that we will get to see, or we might, I hope we do, but I'm gonna say we might get to see how, Doctor Strange 2 might begin, or how everything in WandaVision will tie up into Doctor Strange 2. Who's to say? But yes, I should say that WandaVision should be the first show that everyone should be watching. The next show that everyone should be watching is Resident Alien. It's about this alien that accidentally crash lands on Earth and who then morphs into human form because, of course, he can't be walking around as an alien or it will freak everyone out. And then, since he morphs into this human form, he tries to fit in with all these other humans, and so you just watch his, what you call his adventure and his travels and his journey of how he becomes from an alien into more of a human in a way. So it's a pretty interesting show. It's comedic, it's dark humor, and it's worth the watch because of course we have the great Alan Tudyk in the show. He's the one who plays the main alien character in the show. And for people who don't know who Alan Tudyk is, he's the guy who voiced and did the motion capture for K2SO in Rogue One. And the show is on Sci-Fi. So please do give this show a chance. And genre-wise, the show is a comedy and drama in a way. But yes, it's worth the watch. It's funny, and man, just seeing an alien coming to human customs is just hilarious when he actually just has this one thing in mind that he wants to do to all humans. Who knows? I might have spoiled something, but let's see. The next show that you guys should be watching is Cobra Kai. I myself have never watched Karate Kid, the old one, not the one with Jackie Chan. Oh, wait, before I go on about the old Karate Kid and Cobra Kai, the Jackie Chan Karate Kid wasn't good at all. On top of that, I don't see Jackie Chan as a sensei or as a teacher yet because he physically still feels young, man. I could see him playing more, kung fu movies where he's not a teacher and he's more of the main character. But then, yeah, I guess, they just had to do that one movie where, Jackie Chan plays an old man who's a teacher. But hey, anyways, as I was saying, w- I myself have never watched the old Karate Kid movies, but I, in a way, didn't have to while watching Cobra Kai because Cobra Kai does a great way of explaining everything that has happened in the old Karate Kid movies. And it just, links them all together in a great way that you wouldn't feel in a way necessary to watch much of the Karate Kid movies. Even though I didn't have to watch the Karate Kid movie, let me explain to you what Cobra Kai is about. You follow the path or the view of Johnny Lawrence and how or what happened to him after a few years of him losing the championship trophy of karate, and how low his life has become. And then you also follow or get a viewpoint of Daniel LaRusso and how he has earned a lot of money, and he then has started this car dealership. But it's mostly what I feel like, and I guess that's what the writers and the directors want you to feel. It's mostly about Johnny Lawrence and how he is just become poor, and just his point of view in a way. It's also great because not a lot of TV shows or movies have you follow the bad guy's point of view. But then again, in this way, or what I feel is that Johnny Lawrence is not really a bad guy. You actually see him trying to do good in the show, and you're trying to see how he's trying to flip his world back, and he's trying to become he's trying to be good again, but then it's just hard for him with all the problems that he comes up with. And he's also trying to change the name of what Cobra Kai used to stand for back in the day when he was part of Cobra Kai. And he's also helping kids out in a way to not to make them popular, which was one of the reasons that he helped this one kid called Miguel, but it's also for the reason of self-defense. So they learn and they're ready for whenever anything happens to them. Even though Johnny Lawrence is trying to change and trying to be good and trying to show that he is not what he was back in the day, Daniel just has a hard time believing that Johnny Lawrence is actually trying to be good. And so you just watch this struggle between them two as well, which just makes the show interesting. I do feel like the show does get pulled for a long, just there's a lot of fillers, or like it's stretched out a bit too thin at times, but still, it feels nice. I don't know why. Even though I didn't grow up watching Karate Kid, it's just nice, seeing these guys that you've heard about in other references, as references. I mean, you've heard of as references in other shows or in movies, coming together in this one TV show where they're kind of filling or finishing off the saga that they have built. So it's just great. For people who want to know where to catch Cobra Kai, it would be on Netflix. Yes, there's a pretty interesting journey for the Cobra Kai TV show because they did 2 seasons, I think, on YouTube Red when that used to be a thing, and it then got canceled and died. So yes, it used to be part of YouTube Red, and then later Netflix ends up buying Cobra Kai, and so they did 3 seasons on Cobra Kai. So all the 3 seasons are on Netflix. There's a fourth season coming up soon, I hope. And trust me, season 3 is worth the watch. The last episode, oh my god, what a build! What a build! It was kind of gonna happen, kind of a build, but still, what a build. What a build. Anyways, we should go off to the next TV show, and that is called Mandalorian. How can I not talk about Mandalorian? There are already 2 seasons deep, and um, it's on Disney Plus. It's such a good show. Like, what John Favreau and Dave Filoni have done is amazing. Dave Filoni, I am so happy that he's on Star Wars. He was amazing on Airbender. Yes, I actually didn't know that Dave Filoni was on Airbender. He worked on Airbender with Nickelodeon, and then he went to Star Wars to work on Clone Wars and to work on Rebels. And then now he's with John Favreau doing The Mandalorian, a live action Star Wars show. It's just brilliant, just brilliant. Especially brilliant watching because meeting new characters like Baby Yoda, as everyone calls him. but I'm gonna call him Grogu because that's just a good name. Um, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyways, as I was saying, Mandalorian is about the whole Star Wars universe, and it's after the ninth movie, I think. Yes, it's after the ninth movie, where some of the Mandalorian Creed people, or the Mandalorian followers, or the species, or whatever cult, or whatever you want to call them, have survived um, the war that has happened on Mandalore, and you just follow this one Mandalorian who somehow was contracted to kill Grogu, or not kill Grogu. Sorry, not kill Grogu. My bad, my bad. He was contracted to bring Grogu to Moff Gideon, who is the bad guy, evil bad guy of this whole show. But then he doesn't want to. He instead saves him, or he brings him. Who knows? You should watch the show to find that out. But yes, it's just great watching this show because everything that was on Clone Wars TV show or the Rebels TV show comes here on the live action. As in, like, Ahsoka was a character that was introduced in Clone Wars. She makes a debut live action wise in Mandalorian season 2, and that was just amazing. Finally seeing her live action, just brilliant. It's just great. And seeing the dark saber live action, amazing. It's just the best thing. It's just amazing. And the story is very deep and all that. Oh, also, sorry for giving out such a spoiler about Ahsoka or about the dark saber. I didn't mean to give any spoilers here, but I'm just so sorry. This show, Mandalorian, it just means so much to me because I'm just such a big Star Wars fan, and I just didn't want to spoil for other people who are going to be watching the show, as in the podcast, and wanting to then watch Mandalorian. I just hope just mind my what you call spoilers. But yes, anyways, as I digress, the show is just brilliant. It's just everything that a Star Wars nerd, geek, fan, or whatever would want from a live action show. It just, in a way, it's just perfect. I don't know. It's just perfect in a way. And also, I just hope, it would be nice having Dave Filoni working on a Star Wars movie instead. Maybe, who knows, if he worked on the last three sequels, yeah, the last three sequels that came along, it would have been perfect, I guess. It would have been much better. It wouldn't have been what it is right now, but yeah, it would have been different. It would just be, I don't know, it would be good. It would be just worth the watch, I would say. I mean, I'm not saying that this one with Ray and her whole saga wasn't great at all, but it's just that Dave Filoni understands Star Wars. He understands how all the other, you know, geeks, nerds, and fans feel and what they want. Dave Filoni just knows how to, fill that gap. And having Happy, also known as, forgot his name, John Favreau. Yes, Happy from um Happy Hogan from, what's it called, the Marvel universe. But yeah, having having him, you know, being part of this whole Star Wars thing is also good because it gives it gives this whole thing a different light, and it just makes the show not bearable. That's not the word I'm thinking of. I don't know why I was thinking about bearable. It just makes the show very much watchable. Yes, that's the word. Watchable. It makes it very, very watchable. And he's just brilliant. His directing, his writing of John Favreau, it's just brilliant. He also, just like as I did say about Dave Filoni, understands Star Wars, and he just brings that magic that this show needs. And yes, we're gonna go off to the next item on the list, and that is Love, Death, and Robots. It's the Black Mirror equivalent of um, animated shorts, I should say, or, well, yeah, just in black. Black Mirror equivalent. All the episodes do not connect. They're all only like 10 minutes long, I should say, give or take, and they're brilliant works of art. All the animations of the show aren't the same. All the animations are different. Characters, of course, are different. Storyline, of course, are different, and nothing connects. Nothing in the show connects. And I think if I watch it, for example, I have a different playlist of episodes compared to if my cousin watches it. He will have a different like lineup of the episode playlist, as in like episode so and so will be first for him, while episode so and so was last for me. So that's pretty cool how they did that. They shuffled it, as I would say. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Um, the artwork of each episode is just different. It's all animated, and I think some of them are mocapped as well. I'm not sure. Some of them are 2D animations, some of them are 3D animations. Uh, the one episode that sticks with me is called The Witness. It's about this one girl who witnesses a murder happening across her building, and then this the murderer ends up chasing her because he didn't want to have any witness, no pun intended. But then you just see this whole uh journey that they both make as characters, and then it's just interesting how that episode ended, that it just gets you thinking that what happened, what just happened, who did what, who was what. And I just don't want to say much about it because it's just one of those episodes that you just have to watch it to understand. And it's really confusing. It really does get you thinking. And the people or the team who did the artwork and the design for that episode are the guys who did the design trailer for the animated trailer, I should say, for Watchdog Legion, and that was brilliant as well. That trailer for Watchdog Legion, the animated one, was amazing. But yes, back to The Witness. It's so good. It's brilliant. Yeah. And the scene, as not the scene, the setting of The Witness was in Hong Kong. And again, as I do want to remind you guys again, these episodes are only like 10 minutes long, and no more than 10 I would be. And it's just brilliant to have to see like how this one girl runs away from this murderer and then ends up back at the whole thing, like at the starting of the episode, which then gets you to think that is this episode in a loop? Who knows? But yeah, it's just brilliant. That episode was just brilliant. And the other episode that I loved is called Ice Age. The episode is about this couple that buys this fridge or has this fridge. I forgot how they acquired this fridge, but yes, it's this couple who got this fridge, and in the freezer part of the fridge, a civilization starts forming, a little mini, small, miniature Gulliver's travel kind of, small people end up having their own civilization. So it transforms from Ice Age all the way to the point where they end up becoming futuristic and getting nukes. And it's just a sweet little episode. It doesn't have much meaning to it, or much backstory, or much deep meaning to it, but it's just interesting to just see how this small civilization just how somehow ends up what you call forming and evolving in this couple's freezer. The other episode I do love is called Three Robots. It's about these three robots that just ended up being the last three things that are alive on Earth. And this is the part where Earth has fully, you know, finished itself, as in all the humans are dead, and the grasses have started to grow all over the buildings, and they're just these three random robots who talk and just were walking around this area of the planet, and they just ended up just finding old parts of their upgraded system, as in like they were finding the first mod. They were running into the first model of their own selves and seeing how humanity had made those and then had evolved into these new three robots that were just walking around. And the episode just ends in a pretty hilarious, creative way, and you just wouldn't expect how that episode ends, but it's just something that you guys should watch it and and see how that episode ends. It's pretty hilarious in a way. Ooh, and the other episode that you guys should watch is Shapeshifters. It's about the army, and it's about one person in the army who can shape shift into a wolf, and they have not wolf into a werewolf, and they have trained these human beings to fight as werewolves and to use them in the war. That then yeah, so then it would be easier for that so and so country to win. And so that was pretty interesting episode too. It was pretty meaningful, and it should be that episode. I think everyone will end up liking. And also the other episodes I've mentioned, like Ice Age and also Witness, all these three episodes of this Love, Death, and Robots show, everyone's gonna love. It's worth the watch. Well, I guess I hope I could just sit here and talk about what you call Love, Death, and Robots, but I think I gave a bit too much love in this episode, mostly just to Love, Death, and Robots. But don't worry, guys. I will, with my co-host, continue talking about these all other shows that I have mentioned today that you guys should watch. I'm just giving today as a trailer teaser kind of a thing about TV shows. I mean that you guys should be watching or should have a look out for. And then yeah, I will continue on telling you guys all about all the other TV shows that I mentioned today. But before ending this podcast, I have some news to share. First would be that League of Legends is still working on its TV show. I don't know where they are at, but I hope it does release soon. For people who don't know what League of Legends is, it's a MOBA game, and MOBA is a multiplayer online battle arena. It's where you have a team of, I think, 5 or 6 people. I don't remember right now, but yes, you have a team on either side of the map. There are 3 lanes in the middle, and then there's a jungle as well. I mean, there's 3 lanes, as in there's a top lane, there's a middle lane, and there's a bottom lane, and there's a jungle in the middle. And so you basically have to end up pushing your team and destroying the turrets of the other team and so on and so forth, blah di da di da. But my point is that they are coming up with a TV show, which I hope that I can get more news on and more information about, because I'm pretty interested to see what they're gonna come up with. Because the whole League of Legends, what you call characters, all the characters and everything else is just so diverse. Like they have built such a diverse background story for this game that I really can't wait to watch more of it and understand more of this universe. The other thing in news that we have is that there is going to be a TV show that has to do with Ark. Ark is a survival game that does in a prehistoric kind of era, and that means it has to do with dinosaurs and all. There's been a trailer already out, a teaser trailer kind of thing that's out, and they have announced that, and it's coming to release in 2021, I think, and it has a lot of, A-list actors in it who are voicing the characters, and that'll be pretty interesting. One of them being Vin Diesel, since he's gonna be in Arc 2 that has been announced as well as in the game. And so yeah, just seeing one of my favorite interesting games that I never got to play properly due to my computer can't handle it, or due to it having some not problems but some interesting ways to have you play online with friends, which doesn't really work well. It's just that's why I never got into it. I just needed friends to play with me with friends. I just needed friends. I mean, that I could play with for Ark, but it just never worked out because either they're not that interested into it, or it's just that the way to play multiplayer with friends is just not brilliant. And I didn't want to play on my laptop because it just sucks. But anyways, as I was saying, Ark is going to be one of those TV shows that I'm going to look forward to watching, and so is League of Legends whenever they release. And I think Ark was 2021, so I just hope in 2021 it does release out and I do get to watch. Or I think it was 2022. I don't know. I gotta check, or maybe you guys can check it as well. But yes, I think that's all for today. And I'm so sorry that today's episode is pretty short. Yeah, I know. I don't have my co host actually. And also, the next episode that's releasing next Sunday, it's gonna be as short or near to this because don't really have my co host because pretty busy. But we do have a news, another one. Sorry for mentioning this late and saying the word news again and again. We do have news, I mean, that has to do with the podcast. We have a special episode that's coming out for Pokemon Day, which would be pretty interesting to watch. And from next month, it's all guests. We have guests, guests, and guests. So that'll be amazing. That'll be the best thing. And we'll have more things to talk about and to look forward to, from Star Wars all the way to Korean drama shows. So that will be pretty cool, as I would say. And so that's all for today. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next Sunday where I will be talking about Godzilla vs. Kong.